Due to the crazy amount of players that decided to jump back into Battlefield 4 because DICE announced Battlefield 2042, Boosteroid put Battlefield 4 on their list of games for both Steam and Origin. As a Battlefield 4 veteran, I couldn't wait to try it on Boosteroid. So, is it worth playing? Or does it ruin your KD ratio? Now before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button to make sure you are aware of your cloud gaming situation. Unlike this guy.
Ha! Got him!
I originally have the premium version of Battlefield 4 on Origin, so I was curious on how Boosteroid would handle all the DLC. So does it? Not really. I've logged into play several times, and each time I do, Boosteroid has to download all the DLC. Now, I'm okay with this, and, they have to save space, but here's the thing. I get an insufficient hard drive space error when I get about halfway through the DLC download. So ultimately, I have about 2 DLC packs that downloaded, and that's it. And thankfully, I'm still able to play after this though. As you may know, Boosteroid sets a default setting for the graphics, and they tell you not to touch it. Don't listen to them. Not for this game. I usually obey the rules and go with the flow, but not this time. As I start the game on the test range, you can see here how bad the graphics are. This is an 8-year-old game. Boosteroid should be able to handle this with no issue. Come to find out, this is because the graphics are automatically set to low. Now be aware that this happens every time I log in. Now me personally, I set the graphics to high so I don't push the system too hard. So much better. I also ran the system benchmark, and as you can see, things are running great. Frames are at 60, and latency is decently low. Unfortunately, you'll have to change the graphics every time you log in as of now. I would also include key bindings as well. So how well does Boosteroid perform with Battlefield 4 gameplay? To sum it up, it's not the best, but it's not as bad as playing Modern Warfare on Boosteroid. You do need a significant amount of reaction time in this game, especially at close quarters, especially on Locker. Now one thing that stood out to me that could be an issue are the tooltips that appear every time you log in because it thinks you are a new player. This can be annoying. Now back to the actual gameplay. A lot of Battlefield 4 is more ranged. This actually helps the lag factor that is clearly present when playing on Boosteroid in the US. Now I mainly play as a mid-range support gunner or DMR marksman. I actually made Division 1 for marksman kills and move in and out of Division 1 for light machine guns. So for me, slower mid-range gameplay is somewhat manageable. Engaging enemies is easier at a distance, but it still takes a minute to get used to in multiplayer. You can still do damage though on bigger maps like the Dam or Zavad. I would stay clear of Locker though, as if it wasn't cancerous enough to begin with. With a bit of practice, I was able to counter snipers and beat them at their own game. Got him! Yeah! When I win a battle versus a sniper, it's a happy day. Now I did play the campaign to see how it was on Boosteroid. The single player campaign is actually pretty enjoyable. Since the AI moves a bit slower, takes cover, and rarely uses those sniper rifles, lining up your shots is pretty easy. You should have a decent time playing Battlefield 4 on the campaign on the odd chance that all you play is the campaign. Overall, Boosteroid runs Battlefield 4 pretty well. The browser version and the app play the game very similarly. I've had no problems with either. Just make sure to change your graphic settings and the key bindings every time you log on. If you are a player in the US, you'll have to get used to the lag. But if you're a European player, you might have it a bit easier since you're closer to the servers. Now hopefully, them adding North American servers will solve that problem very soon. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe to get the latest news, gameplay, and comparisons on cloud gaming at the only place where you can do battle in gaming heaven, Cloud Gaming Battle.